What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Right now I'm playing Skullgirls for PC, which right now I'm trying out. It's $7. I think it was like $8 or $9 on Steam right now, which I bought. They originally was sold for $14.99, and I'm just trying it out. This is an indie game that started on Kickstarter a long time ago, as I remember. And as you can see right here, these are I just bought the normal version of it, which contains no DLCs. But they gave me the beta version, which they were nice enough to do. It contains all the characters in the game. I wish they could put more characters, but they only started you out with a few, based on the fact that they were underfunded on Kickstarter. So they decided to do the whole DLC thing, which is understandable. As you can see, these are all the characters that they had. As much as I liked this series, some of the stories were actually pretty interesting. This is Peacock, who is a experiment. She's Project Zero, I believe. She was pretty much they called it Project Peacock, but she is a character. She acts like a cartoon character. She has all these little machines with her that, that like an anvil, a giant bomb, a bird that just throws down bombs, an airplane. She has all these accessories that are cartoonish, in a way. She just loves using her cartoon attacks, which I think the story had some originality to it, because you can see right here, she's like an experiment. She's like a science project gone wrong, that she's like a cartoon character. But of course, she's a Skullgirl. The storyline is basically, there's a thing called a Skullgirl. Basically, it's like a thing that grants you a wish, and only girls can wish for it. And it was actually a pretty good story, I have to say. I can't give you the endings. It's pretty much you have to fight a boss that I could probably show you the clipboard, but I'm not going to. You probably need to buy the game yourself to find out. The storyline is basically all these girls are trying to fight for a little thing called a Skullgirl, which you just have to fight a whole bunch of people for, just to get that item. And of course, it grants you a wish. In the end, it grants you a wish. But the sad part is there is a price to pay for that wish. And of course, in the end, most of the girls some of the girls either refuse it, or they just wish for it to happen. But the funny thing about this series is that it's a very good series. I like it. But the sad part is that the only issues I had were basically some of the characters, had issues with their attacks. Some of them actually had some interesting attacks right here. But I'm not saying I'm a real skilled player, but it did have its bad moments and its good moments. I actually liked it, some of the games, but some of the characters can easily, it's like you can see right here, there's some attacks that I can spam. Like, I just didn't really like some of the attacks, but they can easily be spammable and defeating some of these characters. Like, there was a lot of imbalances in the game. But the fact is, it's not a bad game. I have to say that it was a very good game. But anyways, guys, it was actually a good game. After looking at it, I kind of really enjoyed how it was. And it actually, basically you just basically just button mash. Even though there's some games where you still button mash, and there's some places where you just have to try to use combos. It's just sad that I couldn't use all the combos, because this character kept blocking half of my attacks. And there was like a lot of good, you know, skill in this game, but it's just a shame that I wish they did a lot of work on this. They should have, you know, made the characters a little more faster, you know, doing attacks a little more faster. But the problem is, you know, that I can see what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it more like make it more less like a fighting game that requires more skill, which is true because a lot of games, a lot of fighting games that you need a lot of skill to do this. And the problem is, you know, it didn't really have that much. You didn't have to have skill to, you know, the boss. Because after live streaming this game, it was actually very fun. It took me a long while to, you know, figure out how to play this game and fight, you know, some of the characters. You know, trying to figure out good strategies. It was easy. I have to say it was very easy. But I wouldn't want to, you know, would I recommend this game to anybody? Yeah, I would. It is a very good game. It's not like the best game. If you're into indie games, this would be the best choice for an indie game that you would play. Only because it's cartoonish, it's wacky, it has some oddball characters. Even though the art isn't the best, even though the animation may have its issues, it does have some value to play. It does have some replay value that you can play, even though it doesn't have that many characters. That's the one thing that bothers me. It didn't really have that many characters to play unless you bought the DLC. I wish they did, but I can understand the reason why they did the DLCs, because they were underfunded in Kickstarter when they first started, and I thought it was a very good game. But they should have added more characters into it and made it more interesting. Because really, who would want to play those characters? Who would want to play those characters? Who would want to, you know, fight those characters? And it could have been, you know, the story mode was like a little bit, you know, easy, a little bit at the same time small. I wish they put more fights into it to make it a little more longer and a little more interesting. But that's all I got to say, guys. You can like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Do whatever you want. Bye-bye. Because that's all I got to say about this game. I recommend you just buy it or just decide for yourself.